Hey there, and welcome. So, today we're going to talk about something that feels, well, pretty modern, right? The fact that it's getting harder and harder just to breathe clean air. But here's the twist. We're going to look for answers in a really ancient place, Ayurveda. So, yeah, let's just jump right in.
I mean, think about it. Is breathing getting harder for you? It sounds like such a basic question, but so many of us are feeling it. Maybe it's a cough you just can't shake, or allergies that seem to get crazier every single year. Whatever it is, that simple, automatic act of taking a breath, it just doesn't feel so simple anymore, does it?
And when you dig into the source material for this, it points to one giant culprit: air pollution. It's not just a problem, it's being called the world's biggest problem. And this isn't some far-off thing. It's a crisis that's exploded, and it's hitting us right where we live, affecting our ability to breathe in cities all over the globe.
But here's where it gets really interesting. We tend to think of pollution and breathing problems as, a cough or a scratchy throat. But it's so much bigger than that. The source links bad air to a whole chain reaction of health issues. We're talking a huge jump in asthma, sure, but also things you might not expect, like high blood pressure and even messing with our digestion. It's a problem that affects your whole body.
Okay, so with a problem this big and modern, how does an ancient system like Ayurveda even begin to tackle it? Well, it starts by putting a name to it. It groups all these respiratory issues under one term, schwas. And that right there gives us a framework, a way to start understanding what's going on inside our bodies.
And it doesn't just stop there. Inside that schwas category, Ayurveda actually breaks it down into 5 different types of asthmatic conditions. And the key thing here is that each one is different, and each one has its own specific path to getting better.
And this is where you really see the Ayurvedic perspective shine. Look at this. 4 out of the 5 types, Maha, Urdhva, Chinna, and Kudra schwas, they're all considered treatable. Only one, Tamak schwas, is called asadhya, or incurable. And that's a huge deal. It's basically a message of hope, saying that for most of these conditions, there are absolutely things we can do.
So, knowing this, how do we actually start doing something? Well, in true Ayurvedic fashion, the focus isn't just on fixing the problem once it's there. The real power move is prevention, stopping these issues before they can even get a foothold.
And the advice here is super practical. Some of it you've heard before, right? Wear masks, stay away from secondhand smoke. That's a given. But then there's this really interesting concept of Viruddha Ahar, basically avoiding foods that don't play well together. Think yogurt at night or chugging ice water in the dead of winter, things that can just throw your system out of whack. And the number one most important daily habit, taking steam every single night. It's all about helping your respiratory tract heal itself.
Okay, but wait, how you take that steam is a huge deal. The source gives this really strong warning about those plastic steamers you see everywhere. I mean, think about it. When you heat up plastic, it can release nasty little microparticles. And where do they go? Straight into the steam you're about to breathe in. No good. The recommendation is super clear. Just use a plain old steel pot.
So let's walk through the right way to do it. It's so easy. You boil some water in your steel pot, and then, this is important for safety, take it off the stove. Then add about 5 drops of punch tulsi, which is an extract of 5 different types of tulsi, or holy basil. Tulsi is just amazing for fighting off germs and inflammation, perfect for your airways. Then you just grab a towel, drape it over your head to make a little tent, and breathe it all in. It's such a simple little ritual, but wow, it can make a huge difference.
All right, so we've talked about prevention, but what if you need some help right now? Well, Ayurveda has you covered with some seriously powerful, but also super simple remedies you can whip up in your own kitchen. Let's check out a couple of the best ones.
First up is this amazing duo, jaggery and edible camphor. This is the go-to remedy for coughs, colds, and especially for that tight-chested, hard-to-breathe feeling you can get even when you're having an asthma attack.
And the recipe couldn't be easier. You just need about a gram of jaggery that's good and a tiny bit, around 375 milligrams, of edible camphor, or kapoor. Now, it's really important you get the right kind of camphor, the stuff used in Ayurvedic medicine, not the synthetic stuff. The camphor works like a natural decongestant to open you up, and the jaggery is super soothing. You just mix them together and have it twice a day. Simple as that. Okay, remedy number 2. This one's a total classic, honey and ginger. And this is your secret weapon for when you need relief right now. You know that sudden, tight feeling in your chest? This is for that. It's quick, but just keep in mind it's for temporary relief.
All you do is mix about a spoonful of honey with roughly a gram of fresh ginger juice.
Take that twice a day, and it can really help you feel better fast. But, and the source is really clear on this is for that in-the-moment comfort. It's not a replacement for talking to a doctor about a long-term problem. So definitely keep that in mind.
Okay, so we've got our prevention routine and our quick home remedies. Now let's look at some of the heavy hitters, the more formal, well-known Ayurvedic medicines that are specifically for respiratory health.
And if you know anything about Ayurveda, you've probably heard of this one, Siddhopalati Churna. It's probably the most famous formulation out there. It's an herbal powder that's both really effective and incredibly gentle. I mean, the source points out how safe it is. Kids can take it, adults, even pregnant women. There's a reason it's a staple in so many households.
Now, the magic is in the formula, which is a really specific blend, and the quality of your ingredients is everything. The source makes a huge point about using authentic thread mishri, which is a type of rock sugar, not just regular sugar cubes. And you need pure Von Schloesschen, because apparently there are a lot of fakes out there. But when you get the good stuff, the rock sugar, bamboo silica, long pepper, cardamom, and cinnamon, the combination is just so effective.
And there are a few other important medicines worth knowing about. For really severe cases, there's something called Swas Kas Chintamani Ras, which is a very powerful gold-based formula. Then you have Vasavoleha, which is an herbal jam made from the Adusa plant. That plant is literally the foundation for almost every Ayurvedic cough syrup. And hey, if you have diabetes and can't do sugary stuff, there's an alternative, a simple ash made from the Adusa or Apamarga plant.
You know, all of this really builds up to a super powerful point. There's this bleak old saying that goes, asthma only goes with death. It's so fatalistic, right? But what Ayurveda does is it looks at that saying and just says, nope. The entire system is built to prove that idea wrong, to show that there are real, actual ways to find relief and to manage these conditions.
So that leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? As we're all dealing with this very modern crisis of pollution and what it's doing to us, could it be that this ancient wisdom, these time-tested remedies, actually hold the key? Could they be what helps us all just breathe a little easier? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks so much.